welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. We have our match report on a disappointing night at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 3, Manchester City 1. So, 6-5 on aggregate. Hey, it looked so good at 5-3 on aggregate on that scoreboard, didn't it, at one stage? But the Santiago Bernabeu, or however way you pronounce it, I'm not too sure. A bit disappointing. I'm not going to have a detailed minute-by-minute match report today, that's for sure, guys, because I'm just a bit disappointed. I'll just sum it up, really. Rather than do that, I'll obviously mention the goals. Depressing though it is. But, hey, that is what it is. That's what makes football the sport it is, doesn't it? It's just the circumstances. We've had, as City fans, certainly of my age, we are used to disappointment, of course. I hope the younger guys can take it as well. Not all jumping ship and pep out and all this sort of thing. So, yeah, we move on, don't we? Let's have a look at what happened anyway last night. I got 10 right in the team, so I can't really say much more than that. Obviously, the surprise, which didn't work out, unfortunately. If some say it did, because he stayed on the pitch for a long time, was obviously Walker. But if that means him missing the rest of the season, I think it was a chance we shouldn't have taken. But hey, that's what it is, and we've still got 4 games to go. Have we sort of jeopardised that now because of just wanting to play Walker? As simple as that. And there's a question marks over a couple of other players as well, I think, last night based on the performance and how they came off as well. So the team, anyway, as I said, it was just Walker. Obviously, I had Cancelo as right back and Zinchenko as left back. So only difference to my 10, so I didn't do too bad, did I? Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte and Walker, Rodri, KDB, Bernardo, Foden, Jesus and Mahrez. Of course, we had the absolute rubbish referee and the all rubbish. I don't think there's any referee good sticking would be any good on the night. Very debatable, some of the decisions, as we know. A lot of criticism of Casemiro still being on the pitch and not being booked, and that's what we found with referees. They don't seem to know, they don't seem to clamp down with bookings. They seem to let things go. So by the time a player's done something 2 or 3 times, the damage has been done, and that's the thing. And obviously, they either get away with it because they go quiet, or they just get a booking late on, and it's all too late then. But he is what it is. Daniele Orsato from Italy. His VAR assistant was Massimiliano Irati. Their equivalent at Stockley Park. I have no idea where it is. It could be anywhere. It could be someone's back room, couldn't it? I just don't know. So, yeah, not the greatest referee, but no surprise there, guys. Sometimes we have to play against a referee as well, and that's the reason, but it's not an excuse for the defeat last night. At the end of the day, a lot of it was ourselves, nothing to do with the referee. Yes, of course, we're not going to get any help. So we know that, so we have to play a little bit better, don't we? It's as simple as that. And so, yeah, the match report, first half, I thought both teams had sort of had half chances. I think we had clearer chances. I think they were fairly even on the chances. They were sort of blasting them over the bar. Benzema had 2 or 3 chances, didn't he? But it was a sort of an okay game for us, because it just Real Madrid didn't look as though they were that it certainly wasn't gung-ho, and they were a bit nervy, and that played into our hands. We were a bit nervy, but we had control of it, I think, and Pep sorted that out. I think even into the second half, when Mahrez, I thought, had won the game for us. I'll admit it. I'm a glass half empty person anyway at the best of times, but I just thought that was it. I just thought we would win from there on 73 minutes. Great work from Bernardo, of course. And Mahrez, well, Courtois had a great game, but again, he sort of left does have a habit of leaving one of his posts a little bit open, and Mahrez took full advantage and smacked it into that inside post, and Courtois could be left a little bit flat-footed, although he did have a great game, I thought. I did say to my lad watching it, we'll always got a chance of Courtois in net, but he had an excellent game, I thought, last night. But anyway, 1-0, 73 minutes, and I think the fact that it wasn't all backs to the wall, it wasn't total Real Madrid domination. We never got control of it. We never really put our foot in it. But there's no real all gung-ho-ness from Real Madrid. Basically, because perhaps they just don't have that sort of player to do it. But obviously, the substitutions made a difference. And of course, when it gets too late in the game, this is where we should be taking the ball into the corners. This is where we should be feigning injuries. And for some reason, we didn't do it in this game. It's all because the game was so sort of okay. We were 2 goals ahead. Time was running out. It seemed as though we just carried on playing a little bit of football, and that was probably the mistake. We should have took the ball into the corners. We should have done exactly what they did in extra time. Pretend to get cramp. All the things that good European teams do, and even good English teams do now these days in cup finals and stuff like that. We just didn't do it, and I think it's just because we were lulled into a sense of security that unfortunately wasn't there, and it was to be our undoing, of course. And that brings, of course, 90th minute, 89-20 something. I mean, it's nearly as bad as the 93-20, isn't it? A fresh Rodrigo, who was surprisingly, I thought he'd play the game in all fairness, but he was left out of the team anyway. Was just alert. I say he was alert to it, and I think Ederson's getting a lot of stick. I thought Cancelo was at fault. He didn't run across to close down the cross quick enough. Diaz was certainly at fault in not reacting quick enough. It's just all ball. You call it ball watching in the old days, and I think that was the thing. We just weren't looking at the players and getting to the players and trying to close them down, and that's because, as I said, I think we've been lulled into a false sense of security of what was going on in the game. So yeah, fully alert to take it. And you say Ederson's getting criticism, but I would obviously put that at the hand of 2 or 3 of the other players as well, and say yes, Ederson. People have said he never makes crucial saves. He certainly made one that I remember, crucial save. But yeah, he doesn't make string after string. You think of the Joe Harts that we've had. You go back to Joe Corrigans of this world, and in games like that, your goalkeeper sometimes does something, and Ederson will never be that sort of keeper, I don't think, and that's what we have to accept. We have to take those faults for what the system we play. But hey, it's 1-1, very alert. Still got this game to win. We've still got 6 minutes injury time. Marvellous, isn't it? But, we didn't have a chance to even put our foot on the ball. Again, we didn't have a chance to put our football in, run into corners or pretend we've got cramp. It just seemed to sort of straight away. We were down. They equalised on aggregate. It was unbelievable. Again, fantastic. I mean, it sort of was headed on twice once. It was amazing. It was just a quality goal, but our guys, obviously zonal marking, there was no marking of players, there was just big gaps, and obviously the Real Madrid guys, fortunately, I mean, you can say what you like about the crosses, but a cross has to have a certain amount of luck to hit. It's put into an area. It's not particularly aimed at one guy in particular, and that was borne out by the fact I think one Real Madrid got a header on it, and that sort of then Rodrigo sort of just sort of carried it on, and it was superb. I mean, superbly taken. And for me, the deflation after that, we were struggling, weren't we? I don't think we believed we could probably do it after that. Real Madrid certainly believed they could do it, and as a fan sat there watching it, all my optimism had totally drained out of me. It's just a sucker punch that could we have done better? We probably could, because we could have done better when we had the ball. We had the ball from kick-off. It was as though we lost it straight away. So that is what it is, into extra time. And again, I don't think anyone was overly sure that we could pull this one back. There's always where there's hope. We had hope, of course. But yeah, a penalty. Diaz, again, just far too slow and I don't. It's the word cool, but cool in a bad way, because he just stuck a foot out. It was a penalty. Simple as. He took the player. He didn't take the ball, and you can say he got the ball. Even if the ref had to look at VAR, it was obvious he hadn't taken the ball. He took the player from my view, guys. I mean, I might be wrong on that. I've not watched it back. I've watched a couple of replays, but it was a penalty, and once he scored that, for me, it was game over, and the game management by Real, cramps, all this sort of thing, and we can whinge about the referee blowing up early. He didn't even play the full 3 minutes, but apparently all they have to say is, well, that's what they're told they can play. They don't have to, as a referee. You don't have to play the full amount, so that's how it is. But damn well should have been on the other foot. It would have been played, and even more, of course. But yeah, that's game management by Real Madrid. That's what they are. They're not a great team now, but they certainly got the players to know how to play these games out, and they did. I don't think we ever really came that close. I think Fernandinho had a good chance, didn't he, in extra time, but that was it, guys. We were out. Another season of being laughed at, basically, which we're used to that, aren't we? So another season being laughed out, and we can go for it again next season. Key stats in the game, shots 14 and 5 on target for Real, 15 and 10 on target for City. So I say that just also encompasses how good a game Courtois had. Possession, 56% for City away from home at the Bernabeu. That's pretty good. Pass completion was a bit low on City, but again, with the nerves of a semi-final. Real's was 80%, ours was 83%, but that's down amongst the lowest. But yeah, as I say, with the nerves. So we'll go on to the player ratings. I did these when I come home and then had a quick look at them again this morning. I've slightly changed them slightly as I'm doing this. Yeah, Stuart Brennan. Obviously, I'll give his thoughts first and his score. My starting score is 6.5, so I thought the players did okay on let's face it, a big night, a nervy night. We'll get 6.5. If they didn't quite hit the mark, they'll get less, and there are some, and some key players as well. And if they did a little bit better, they'll get more. So let's have a go. Let's see what we've got, and I'll follow the scores. I'll follow any Brennan's scores with my little score and the remarks. Edison Stewart said, picture of calm with the ball at his feet, yeah, but he was slow to prevent Rodrigo's equaliser. So Stewart's given him a 6. I think he's been a bit generous. I don't think Real really pressed us that much, so yeah, he could be calm. There's one in the first half where he sort of welded it at the last minute, but you always knew he was going to get it clear, but it looked a bit dodgy. So I've just given 5.5 on the basis that, yes, he made one or two okay saves, but he had to be a bit more alert in that injury time, as did other players. He wasn't just culpable on his own. But I'm just going to give a 5.5. I'm going to knock a point off average. I just thought when we needed him, perhaps he just didn't have a little bit of magic for us. That's how it is. Kyle Walker, Stewart said, Guardiola took a risk for 70 minutes. It worked as Walker tied up Vinny Jr.'s threat superbly. So you give him an 8. I've got to give him an 8 as well. I think Walker obviously played through the pain barrier. We'll suffer for that probably now going forward. Was it worth the risk? I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I mean, could we have kept him quiet for 70 minutes or played a slightly different game if Walker wasn't playing? But I thought Walker was brilliant, considering obviously the fact he would have been injured. Ruben Diaz, Stewart said his backs to the wall defending was superb, but he undid the good work with a rash challenge to concede the penalty. Yeah, was it all over there? Is his mind gone? I'm not too sure. I don't think he was that brilliant. I mean, Stewart's only given him a 6 anyway, but I've just given him a 5.5. I thought that stupid penalty negates all else he did, and to do it and then hold your hands up, it just didn't quite step up for me on the night. I'm Eric Laporte. Like Diaz, he stood tall, says Stewart, as Benzema and Vinny Jr. took the fight to City, but went missing in added time. Yeah, again, they had chances at Real Madrid, so I'm not going to say that defence played superbly. Say Benzema smacked at least 2 or 3 over the bar that I remember. But I thought Laporte was okay. I don't think he was as culpable perhaps as Diaz on a couple of things. So Stewart's given me 6. I've echoed that. I've only given me 6 as well. Still a little bit less than the average, but I didn't think the defence was that great overall. I didn't see bodies being put on the line too much as we would do, and we certainly missed someone like John Stones, I think, last night. João Cancelo settled into his slick rhythm, says Stewart, as the game went on, but then was part of a collective defensive failure. Well, that's always going to be a problem. He's a defender at the end of the day, but that's not his skill. Did he do that much creatively up front? I didn't think so in all, to be honest with you guys. Stewart's given me 6. I'm just going to give him a 5.5, which is 1 lower again. I just didn't think he offered much forward or back. And certainly in that first goal, he was ball watching. He was just very slow to get back across. I mean, the player was behind him. He should have been a bit more alert to what was happening. And when the ball was crossed over, he should have been quicker to close him down. But he's not a defender. Simple as. Rodri gradually imposes considerable bulk, says Stewart, and passing ability in midfield, and the collapse was not his fault. Yeah, okay. I will give him the average as well. Stewart's given him a 7. I'm going to give him a 6.5. It was okay, but nothing more than that. I'm not going to rave over Rodri's performance. It was okay in the middle there. Fine. Bernardo Silva, Stewart said, just brilliant again. Ran for everything. Garnished it with skill and nerve and set up Maris. Goal brilliant he did. So Stewart's given him a 9. Well, he gets my highest score, but it's an 8. He's definitely was the best player on that pitch. In fact, interestingly enough, the first 10 or 15 minutes, I thought him and KDB were playing very, very well. We'll talk about KDB in a second. But I just thought for the whole game, Bernardo just didn't get up, and I felt more sorry for him. I mean, I felt sorry for all of us guys, but I felt sorry for Bernardo at the end of that, because I think he ran his little heart out, and he was definitely our best player, probably, on the night. Creativity and work rate, etc. On to Kevin De Bruyne then. Stuart said, just looked off the pace for some reason. The reflexes floating away and stuff. Absolutely. As I said, I thought he looked sharp. That first 10 or 15 minutes, he looked as though he was putting balls where he should be doing. And all of a sudden, he just faded out. So I'm a bit worried he might be carrying an injury, guys. And that's a hell of a problem for us going forward. Would you have brought KDB off? If he was something wrong, and so whether it was mentally or physically, I don't know at this point in time. But KDB, no, I'm sorry. I thought he was pretty awful. So I'm just going to give him. I think I give him a 5.5. Check my little score on the screen there. As I said, I did alter things this morning. Stuart's given me 6. I think I give him a 5.5. I did write 5 down, but that's when my starting score was based on 6. So I think I did up it. So anyway, you'll see what my score. My right score will be on the screen anyway for KDB. Started well and just faded out. As I said, is he injured or is it something mentally? I'm not too sure with KDB. But if you think about the Cup final last year, he didn't, before the injury, he sort of took a hell of a time to get into the game. And this game, he started well and just faded out. Very disappointing. Mahrez, Stuart said, I'm not being too involved, but when his moment came, he was ready. He certainly was. And his 24th goal of the season was a cracker. Stuart's given him an 8. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he didn't do that much, I don't think, but it was a great goal. I'd give him 7. I'd give him half a point extra. It should have been enough to win us the game, and he should have been the hero, and it just wasn't. But it was just one of those games for Mahrez where you didn't see that much of him. Gabby Jesus did not give the defence a moment's peace, said Stuart, and he continues to show his quality has not dimmed. So Stuart's given him an 8. I think he's been a bit kind on Jesus. Yeah, I've no doubt he worked hard, but no real end product was there. I can't really remember much. I say I'm certainly not going to go back and watch this game again, guys. Let me know what you think. But he's given 8. I've just given the steady 6.5. I thought he was okay. Again, we perhaps needed another goal of him, didn't we? But perhaps his goal scoring days have gone now. He's had his little flush of glory, perhaps. But hey, he'll be back. He'll be back. No problem. Phil Foden, Stuart said, proved too agile and quick for the labouring Real defenders, but nothing came off in the final third. Yeah, again, a bit like Jesus. I didn't notice him that much. Stuart's given him a 7. So I'm going to have to give him a 6.5, just a standard again. As I say, I wasn't overly enthralled, but he was there. He was there. Playing okay, so I'll give him an okay score. I've not marked any of the subs. Gundogan for De Bruyne on 72. A brilliant 20 minutes after he came on, says Stuart. I don't know. I thought he played that okay, actually. Yeah, but I'm not going to mark him. But I thought he helped. He sort of helped us win the game, and then we didn't, which is fair enough. I thought it was a great move by Pep to bring him on, because I thought it would sort the game out and KDB wasn't doing anything, but of course it didn't work out. Zinchenko for Walker on 72, slotted in okay, says Stuart, 6. He's given a 6. I've not marked him. No harm done with that, Zinchenko. Grealish for Jesus, 79, made no impression, says Stuart. Well, he must have forgot that one that was cleared off the line, and the one that the goalkeeper caught. That was going in. It was going in the net, and Courtois got a little foot on it and deflected it for a corner. So perhaps Stuart forgot that. But I'm not going to mark him. But he was so close to becoming a hero. Has been the tale with Jack Grealish, I think, this season. Certainly last night he could have been a big hero. Or certainly took it to penalties or something like that, but just not quite, unfortunately. Fernandinho for Mahrez at 85, so close to equalising. Yeah, he looked close, but it was a pretty rubbish finishing, to be honest with you. He's given 6. I think he came, for me, he was brought on to bolster the defence, and all I saw him doing was attacking. Again, that might just be me, guys, but I mean, I'm sure that's what he wasn't. I mean, again, game management, 85th minute. Yeah, all right, let's not do anything stupid. Let's keep our lines, let's keep our composure, let's keep our zones. And I just thought Ferner was a bit more in an attacking mode than defending. Obviously, with Rodri there, perhaps he didn't think he needed to still, but just a strange thing. He was more up front than anything else. It was just straightforward switch for Mahrez, and I thought it was more a tactical defensive thing, and it wasn't, which, again, were we naive? Possibly. Raheem Sterling for Rodri, 99. Yep, well, he came on. I can't say much more than that about Raheem. Man of the match, yeah. I've not given a real man of the match out. Just a special mention, obviously, for Walker and Bernardo, who I thought probably were the outstanding on the night. But I probably wouldn't do a man of the match now, but I was too depressed. I'm not going to go back on what I thought last night after the game. There's nothing wrong with emotion, is there, after a match? I just put no man of the match. I'm too depressed, so I'll leave it at that. And our overall records now is split down the middle. Yeah, we've won 3 and lost 3 and drawn 2 against Real Madrid. We've scored 12, let 13 in, so they have the edge on that, of course. Real Madrid going forward, of course, the new La Liga champions. I didn't see that much fantastic last night, but I say when the moment came, they had players to do it, didn't they? They can now rest for the final. They can have a nice month of picking and choosing when they play the players in the games, because they've won the league anyway. And a final, well, let's be honest about it, Liverpool should beat them. That's horrible to say. I don't, So I say we can still nick one trophy off Liverpool, and Chelsea can nick another. But hey, Liverpool will beat this Real Madrid, I'm fairly sure. I don't think Liverpool's game management will be anything like ours. And as for us, yeah, of course, we've got a bit. Let's see what pride we have. I'm sure we've got loads of pride. I'm sure the players will be back up for this Newcastle game. If anything, it's a great game. If it had been Wolves away or West Ham away, one of those 2 away games we've got left, which obviously come quickly, don't they? But if it'd been one of those, it might have been a little bit more different. But psychologically, I'm sure the fans will get behind them. We've got to, guys. We've got to support our team. So we'll be tested psychologically and physically as well, because I just don't know out of that 11. I'll be doing a preview show, guys, looking for that in the odds show as usual. But the preview show, I'll be doing more of them. So please check in with that to see what I think the starting 11 will be. But I'll have to keep an eye out. I mean, I will be doing it today, actually, so I won't really know about injuries and stuff. But people like KDB, I say, I doubt we'll see Walker and Stones again based on last night. So we'll have to go with that, and hopefully KDB's okay. It was just a tactical switch, because he wasn't really finding his way into the game as much as perhaps he should have done last night. But we'll see. But Newcastle's a good game to have, I think. Of the 4 games left, that's possibly all right. Villa at home would have been okay, but that's the last game anyway. But if you know what I mean, from a point of view of what team to play to get us back on track to win this title and win 4 games, I think Newcastle, the fact they'll try and play football as well, is a good game to play. And if we win that, onwards and upwards for 3 more games. We get 4 games, 4 wins. We're champions of England again, guys. That's a positive. Europe, I'm afraid we'll have to wait for another year. So please join me for the preview show. History shows out there, guys. Have a look at that. Back to 1969. Yes, I was at that one. Many of you watching this probably weren't, or even thought of, or a twinkle in your dad's eye. But have a look at that. It's interesting. City, the FA Cup holders, take on Newcastle. Going for European glory at the time, yes, back in 1969, May 69. So please check out my history, boys. And of course, I've not even looked how my charity bets was last night. I probably lost them both based on that result. But yeah, check in with the odds show where our last 4 games, we try and win more money for the Christie, my nominated charity. Anyway, thanks for that, guys. Heads up, Blues. Come on. Heads up. I was so down last night. I was a bit down this morning. I had a few beers, so I didn't sleep very well. I'll just be miserable in work tomorrow, go to work tomorrow. But sorry, I'll just say, don't talk to me about it, guys. It's just disappointing, and that's all. It's just disappointment. We get on with it, but we move on. We're ready for Sunday, and I'll be shouting me head off again for our boys. I hope you will too. You too will, or whatever. And please, if you do see me at the match, come and say hello. That'd be great if you're at ATLETICO on Sunday as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.